everyone and welcome to the 2020 Archiboo Awards. If you'd told me 6 months ago I'd be hosting this event from home, I'd have said you're completely crazy, but this has been a very crazy year, and although we did try and keep some live element of the awards going, we got defeated by the second lockdown. So here I am in my living room, and I expect you're also at home in your living room, kitchen, study, or possibly even at work. So thank you very much for joining me this evening. We've also decided not to tell our winners tonight. We wanted to keep some element of surprise going. So if you did win, or if you're about to win one of our virtual trophies, please share your success on social media using the hashtag Archiboo Awards. Together with my co-host Ben Story, this evening is all about celebrating the creative use of technology to communicate great architecture, from inspirational design to great storytelling and the clever use of social media as part of the mix. And we've also got 3 new awards this year for podcasts, immersive technology, and a special category to mark this challenging year. We've got 40 great judges who've all gone over and studied these entries very, very carefully. And so a huge thanks to them, and also to Hayes Davidson for the virtual trophies. So sit back, relax, get yourself a glass of something nice, and let's get started.
Our first award is for best use of social media. Judges were looking for practices that use social media to communicate, connect and promote their work to clients, consumers and stakeholders. The shortlist is Bennett's Associates, Morris & Company, Foster & Partners, Amos Goldreich Architecture, Business of Architecture UK and Soda Studio. So let's head over to one of our judges, Rob Fean, to tell us who won.
Hello, my name is Rob Fean. I'm a communications consultant and also one of the judges on the Archiboo Social Media Award. This year, we were looking for entrants who are both producing great content, but also finding ways to engage with online communities. We've had a lot of fantastic submissions from both established practices and emerging companies, producing great visuals and also fascinating videos. Unfortunately, there can only be one winner, and that winner this year is Amos Goldreich Architecture. The judges felt that Amos Goldreich Architecture had found ways to really hone their message to potential clients, and also provide a huge amount of pragmatic and accessible information. The approachable atmosphere they created has been rewarded by a substantial following online, and we can't wait to see where they take this next on other platforms. Well done, Amos Goldreich Architecture.
Thanks Rob, and congratulations again to Amos Goldreich Architecture.
Our next award is for best use of immersive technology. Immersive technology, by which we mean VR, AR and mixed reality, are set to revolutionise the way we design and build and model. And this award recognises practices and companies focusing on both its practical applications and those who are pushing its capabilities into a design tool.
The shortlist is Buru Hapol, Grimshaw Architects, Arco, Uniform, FKD Studio and Ackroyd Lowry. So let's hear from one of our judges, Oliver Salway, to find out who won.
Hi, I'm Oliver Solway of Softroom, and I was very happy to be asked to be a judge for the Best Use of Immersive Technology category for the 2020 Archiboo Awards. Whether it's full-on virtual reality or augmented or mixed realities, it's a field that certainly still seems to be in its infancy. And of course, it's been sort of catapulted into the foreground by the need for so many of us to adopt new working patterns, particularly remote working, and needing to collaborate, share and present work in distant, non-physical ways. It will be interesting to see how much of this now sticks and becomes adopted as part of the new normal. We've been asked particularly to look out for work that was both creative and clearly fulfilling a real purpose, and the worthy winner this year certainly achieved both of those. So congratulations to the team at Bureau Happold for their project focused on inclusive design. They really found a genuinely beneficial use case for virtual reality, encouraging designers to develop empathy with differently abled users in a way that no other medium can really match. Their tools clearly have a real role to play in the design process right from the earliest stages, and it was well executed. So yeah, well done indeed.
Thanks, Oliver, and big congratulations to Bureau Happold. Our next award is for Best User Experience. Judges were looking for websites that were easy to navigate, consistently providing the user with relevant information and utilising best practice in its layout and its content.
And the shortlist is Christopher Adelaide Architecture, Apt, Minali and Mann, Studio Edward West, Diamond Schmidt, AHMM, Holloway. Over to Judge Louis Whittle to tell us who won.
Hi, this is Louis from User First Agency. I was really glad to be part of Archiboo's 2020 Best User Experience. So I think in the field there's been a lot of focus on visuals, pretty much from the beginning. And that's translated in the websites as well. But it's been great this year to see a much bigger focus on user experience and making the websites easy to use, the information easy to find. So I think the winner this year, APT, and congratulations to them, really demonstrated that well. The site is beautiful visually, of course, with a really clever use of a custom typography, which essentially brings elements from the logo into the titles across the whole site. But what impressed me the most was in fact the usability, and in particular the search feature, which is really powerful. You can type to search anywhere on the site or within the menu, and the results load in real time as you're typing, neatly arranged in a grid, sort of people, places, and the jobs. And this means that they've put a lot of care into categorizing all their content, making sure everything's indexed properly. And search is something that every website should have, but a lot of websites, including big news outlets and really major websites out there, don't do well. So really great to see such a great execution. So again, congratulations to the winner.
Thanks, Louis, and congratulations to APT and its agency, Greenspace.
Our next award, which is new for 2020, reflects the massive growth of podcasts, including those championing interesting conversations about architecture. And before we announce the winner, here are some clips from the shortlist.
Obviously, across the different domains that anyone interacts with when they go from being a student to being a practitioner, and now with our studio, one encounters racism in myriad different ways, right? So that's why my answer was very straight. Yes, it is. But specifically, what are we referring to here? From an educational point of view, institutions are racist, the curriculum is racist. That goes without saying, actually.
Hello, I'm Marcus Fairs, the founder and editor-in-chief of Dezeen, and this is Dezeen's new podcast, Face to Face, sponsored by Twinmotion. Dezeen is the world's most popular and influential architecture and design magazine. We report on the work of leading architects and designers every day, but we rarely get the chance to get close to the people behind the work. So in this series, I sit down with some of the biggest names in architecture and design to find out who they are, what they do, how they got to where they are today, and what makes them tick.
One of my early projects, they had this beautiful house, so I put on a tiny room on the side, but I convinced them that using tile on the floor that you wouldn't have skirting, which is completely ridiculous.
Yeah, but Yvonne, before that, you designed a piece of maison de verre and it came in 6 times over budget. Remember?
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten that. But the same project, which, that's right, I did a really beautiful maison de verre room. The budget came in 6 times over, so I changed from glass block to concrete block.
From being a person 20 or so years ago where I was in and underneath every single detail, everything, drawing it, thinking it, only one way is best, so I've got to do it myself. Now being another blender says I kind of do almost nothing other than to talk and coach and mentor and to direct, and it's like I'm now the kind of person that sits in the background and say, well, that thing you've just done there, that's really cool.
You're building the community through the process. It's not just about, whether you're designing in aspects that will engender community. The process itself is creating, pre-forming the community even before people have moved in.
And have you ever found any sounds that are have really surprised you?
I think the escalators are one of those sounds that was surprising to me. I just hadn't expected them to make that sound. And I think when I first got the electromagnetic microphones, that was like a real, oh my God. As a sound designer or a sound artist, when you just, my whole thing is, okay, what new sounds are there that I can find? So when you're given a new tool that allows you sort of access into this previously hidden world, it's a moment of real excitement.
At the end of the day, you've hired a professional based on a past career, and you've made that decision. And it's not like, Frank Gehry said this once. He goes, the interesting thing about even somebody at my sort of level, I'll get hired by a client based on all these successes. And then once I'm working with a client, even Frank Gehry says, once I'm working with a client, they're second guessing my every move as if I don't know what I'm doing.
Over to our judge, Vicky Richardson, on which of these 7 is tonight's winner.
My name's Vicky Richardson. I'm a writer and a curator, and I teach at the Royal College of Art. I was a judge for the Podcast Award. I really enjoyed judging this because I love podcasts, and I was looking for a podcast that had a real personality, where the interviewer establishes a great rapport with the subject, and where there are personal and entertaining stories told, as well as something that's really informative. So I'm really delighted to say that Material Matters by Grant Gibson has won the award, and it's a podcast I've actually listened to since it was launched and always really enjoyed it. Grant is an excellent interviewer, and the subject of craft seems to yield constantly interesting stories from a really wide range of fields, be it crochet, weaving, ceramics or architecture. And I think Grant's podcast really tells you something about both the personality of the designer maker, but also the in some detail about the technical side of the process. So congratulations.
Congratulations to Material Matters and to its creator and presenter, Grant Gibson.
And now to Best Digital Workspace, which is an award for this year only to celebrate some of the ways in which practices have maintained human connection during lockdown. The shortlist is Cullinan Studio, Ernest V Architects and Partners, Grimshaw Architects, Pollard Thomas Edwards, Ackroyd Lowry, and New Practice. One of the judges, Carlos Saba, will reveal the winner.
Hi, I'm Carlos, one of the co-founders of the Happy Startup School. I was one of the judges for the category of Best Digital Workspace. I was looking for not only the usage of technology or the best way of using technology or using the right technologies, but also how it was used not only for tech's sake, but also to help the people behind the screen. And so I was really I think I was drawn to how with new practice they were actually focusing on the people and how the directors were really looking to basically make their employees happy and bring that humanity to this digital world that sometimes can feel a bit cold and basically tech driven. So yeah, great, congratulations to you, and I was really impressed by how you're blending real world and digital world.
Thanks, Carlos, and congratulations to New Practice. The next award is for Best Consultant's Website. The category is open to engineers, landscape architects, interior designers, and others who work alongside architects. The shortlist is Epicurean, Silman, David Collins Studio, Gopion, Bureau Happold, Architectures, and Jack Hobhouse. Let's go to Kirsten Lees to find out who the winner is.
So my name's Kirsten Lees, I'm Managing Partner for Grimshaw Architects, and I was an Archiboo judge this year for the Best Website category. Congratulations to Bureau Happold, who are really a very deserving winner. For the scale of the practice, the breadth of offer, the sectors and regions within which Bureau Happold work, it really is genuinely very difficult to communicate all of this in an engaging and effective way. And I think the range, the scope of the practice, the diversity of offer, the multitude of voices, all came through really powerfully in the website, but in a way that you could see that the values of the practice really do underpin everything. I think, quite honestly, that Bureau Happold just absolutely nailed it. The website's visually appealing, the use of the moving images is great, but at the same time the graphics are simple and it's very easy to navigate. I had actually put aside a certain amount of time to review all of these websites, and to be honest, I spent far longer than I had anticipated. I spent a lot of time actually just reading all of the articles, all of them incredibly diverse but very interesting, and just going from link to link. And that's the mark of fantastic website, is it not? One that really genuinely engages and intrigues.
Thanks, Kirsten, and congratulations to Bureau Happold for their second win tonight.
Our next category is supported by the Alan Davidson Foundation. And before we tell you who the winner is, I'm going to hand over to Kate Healy, one of the trustees from the foundation, to say a few words.
Good evening, Archiboo. My name is Kate Healy and I'm a trustee of the Alan Davidson Foundation. Sadly, Alan's life was cut short in 2018 when he died after a long battle with motor neuron disease. Before he died, Alan created a foundation to support the many causes he had supported in his lifetime, including the promotion of art and excellence in architectural illustration and communication. We are delighted to support this award that Archiboo has renamed in Alan's memory. Alan would have been thrilled to see the quality of work submitted for this year's award. I wish to thank all the entrants for this year, and particularly to thank the judges for their time and expertise. And of course, finally, congratulations to the winner.
Thanks very much, Kate. The Alan Davidson Award is all about visualisations that immerse the viewer and must relate to a real project. The shortlist is Secchi Smith, Recent Spaces, Arco, FKD, Dark Studio, Mr. P, NBV Studio. we're going over to one of the judges, Ben Davis.
Hi, I'm Ben. I was one of the judges for the Alan Davidson Award for Architectural Visualisation. It was a special honour for me as the award's named in memory of Alan, who I worked with back in the 90s at Hayes Davidson, the company that he founded, that really helped to pioneer this whole industry really over 30 years ago. And when we were looking at the entries, we really wanted to see work with a distinctive and coherent character that really drew you into the work. And in a maturing industry now, we wanted to see how the edges had been pushed of what we expect from CGI and visualization, whether it's through techniques, through artistic direction, the use of technology, or all of these things. And it was a really strong category, but what we really liked about the winner especially was it was instantly attention grabbing, and technically the work was very impressive. It brought in an interesting technical solution, and not an easy one, not one for technology's sake, but to really amplify the story being told. And the team brought more than visualization skills to the table. They skillfully blended architectural, cultural and geographical cues. So like a few of the entries, it also represented visualization as a more collaborative practice. And finally for me, it brought fun. And the project was refreshing and vibrant and playful, which are difficult qualities to bring to a project sometimes. So huge congratulations from me and the judges to this year's winners, who are Recent Spaces. Very well done to you.
Thanks Ben, and congratulations again to Recent Spaces. And now to the Best Newcomer Award for practices less than 3 years old. The judges wanted to see confident websites with engaging content and a strategic approach to social media. The shortlist is Bebo, New Practice, Campbell & Co, BetterPad, Name Architecture, Delve Architects. One of our judges, Joe Morris, is here to tell us who the winner is.
Hello, my name is Joe Morris of Morris & Company, a practice of 50 or so architects with offices located in London and Copenhagen. I was asked by the brilliant Archiboo to judge the Archiboo Awards 2020 in the Best Newcomer category, a category that our own office won last year in 2019. What I was looking for in the submissions was a website which fizzed with the creative character of the host practice, and one which exuded personality and confidence, one which wore its credentials on its skin, and one which had an intuitive and navigable structure but which offered oodles of delight as one explored deeper into the website. I'm absolutely thrilled that this year the winner of the Best Newcomer category is New Practice, and it's a beautifully organised site spanning ideas across architecture, urbanism, place shaping, community infrastructure and collaborative stakeholder engagement. So a very big hats off to practice leads Becca Thomas and Mark Cairns, and for the rest of their team. Well done.
Thanks Joe, and congratulations to New Practice. Our next award is Best Written Content. Judges were looking for content that's engaging, original and insightful, whether it's an opinion piece, research or about a new building. The shortlist is Studio Gret West, Foster & Partners, David Collins Studio, Pollard Thomas Edwards, Allies and Morrison, Buckley Gray Yeoman, and Cullinan Studio. One of the judges for this category, Isabel Allen, will reveal the winner.
Hi, I'm Isabel Allen, editor, writer and one of the judges for Best Written Content, and I'm delighted to introduce this year's winner. This is a practice who've been absolute pioneers in all sorts of things we now know we ignore at our peril. Sustainability, community building, healthy environments, things that are so important but can be a little bit dull. So what a delight that this practice, who've been around since before I was born, just let us slip that in, have come up with a website and a whole raft of social media offerings that are so contemporary and fresh and beautifully written. I say that, I actually did have to go back and check. I think like acting or photography, if it's done really well, you kind of forget. it. You're just taken along on the journey. This is a practice on a mission. You've got a story to tell and you want to be part of it. So huge congratulations to Cullinan Studio.
Thanks, Isabel, and congratulations again to Cullinan Studio. Our new white paper, No Looking Back, Lessons from a Pandemic, will be available from early December and includes interviews with some of our winners and shortlist and, we hope, some useful insights on what this year means. If you'd like a copy, please pre-register at archiboo.com/no looking back.
Now to our next category, Best Architectural Photography. Judges were looking for images that have impact, give the viewer an insight, and make them want to know more. The shortlist is Foster & Partners, Atomic, Holloway, Richard Parr Associates, Friend & Company, and Delve Architects. Let's hear from Rodrigo Arantia to find out who won.
Good morning everyone, my name is Rodrigo Orrantia. I am a photography curator and I currently work at the exhibitions department at the RIBA in London. This is my second year as a juror for the Archiboo Awards in the category of Best Architectural Photography. I want to say, of course, congratulations to the winners, Richard Parr Associates, with a portfolio of photographs by Rich Stapleton. What I really like about this award, the Archiboo Award, is it shows a very wide gamut of architectural photography, and it also shows what both really established practices and emerging practices as well are doing with photography. In this particular case, Rich's images does not only describe the building, a house in the countryside in the UK, but they really make use of the possibilities of photography. They make the most out of the surfaces, the materials, and especially of the surroundings and the natural light to create more than a description, an evocative mood. It's a really good interpretation of the brief and the description by the architects. So congratulations to the studio, to Richard Parr and to Rich Stapleton.
So big congratulations to Richard Parr Associates and photographer Rich Stapleton.
Now to our most hotly contested category of all, Best Visual Design, where, as well as a winner, we also have a runner-up. Judges were looking for sites that make an impact and communicate a visual experience where the design is high quality, appropriate and relevant for the audience and the message it's supporting. The shortlist is APT, whose website is by Green Space, Bartlett School of Architecture, website by Bartlett and Hello Monday, Buckley Gray Yeoman, website by Village Green, Datner Architects, website by For Office Use Only, HOK, website by For Office Use Only, Soda Studio, website by Katie Stamp and Soda Studio, Studio Agrette West, website by Rabbit Hole. The runner-up is Buckley Gray Yeoman, so congratulations to them and Village Green.
But the winner is Soda Studio, and now we're going to hand over to Matthew Bull to tell us why.
Hi there, my name's Matthew Bull, I'm Group Art Director at Think Publishing, and I was really chuffed to get asked to help judge the visual design category of these awards. I was looking for good consistent design across all the devices, something that was clear and easy to navigate, had a good social media presence, and then does the design support or hinder the message and the case studies on the site? And does the photography have good impact? Is the copywriting punchy and easy to follow? Now the site that won the award kind of got all this into one really nice package. It had a good chassis which supported clean and effective design. The typography was simple and easy to follow. The case studies were well presented and again easy to follow. The photography was stunning and simply laid out and worked on both desktop and phone. You didn't get lost anywhere down a blind alley. And the brand was there, but it didn't overpower the message of what the case studies and clients were all about. So overall, this was a really nice environment which you wanted to spend time in. So well done on the winner of this site.
Thanks, Matt, and big congratulations to Soda Studio and to its in-house designer, Katie Stamp. Our next award is for Best Use of Video. Judges wanted to see films that are inspiring and informative, so it becomes a compelling and engaging experience.
The shortlist is Cone Pedersen Fox for 55 Hudson Yards, Studio Mutt for Multi-Story Runcorn, Norman Foster Foundation for Inside the Archive, Sue Rogers, Walters & Cohen Architects for 25 years of Walters & Cohen Architects, Jim Stevenson for Lionheart, Mole Architects for Marmalade Co-Housing, Field & Clegg Bradley Studios for Making Models. We're now going to play a short clip from each of the shortlisted films.
You always get that moment when people's eyes kind of light up when they see a model. So whenever you put one on the table, you kind of reveal one, there's an instant impact, and there is this connection that people have with physical models that you just can't get from a screen.
As an architect, you often worry, what is a client seeing? I know what I'm showing, but what are they actually seeing? What are they seeing in the drawings? How experienced they are with built form? It is so much easier to work and talk around a model. It sort of unlocks the situation.
I think there's always a joy. I mean, architects like creating something. There's something very satisfying around the making process. And I think you learn in the making process.
A lot of the work that we do all over the world we end up in these kind of situations where there might not be much of a context, and this was definitely one of them. There was nothing on the site.
The subway station was under construction.
The subway was under construction, and we understood the design of 10 and 30. It was important that we didn't want it to be shiny, that we wanted the building to have a little bit of...
It's almost a little bit raw.
Raw and textured.
People will change, and the attitudes and interiors will change, and you'll sort of get to live the life of the building.
Light bleeds through the dark recess of an incision, a terminal idea with a fading gradient, carefully emerging as though an umbilical cord is wrapped around its potential. Here, the architect prepares us for what hasn't fully bloomed. Light is an eager actor in this theatrical performance. Its part to play must be directed. Here, architects are playwrights of light, but master architects are playwrights of its absence.
I think the first time we met Norman was because we'd all got scholarships to go to Yale. We must have then started Team 4 very quickly after that. I don't know what date we started Team 4, but it must have been in January '63. Definitely an interest of souls coming together.
We together delivered what I think is one of the most remarkable educational buildings. Getting good design does not need to cost a fortune. In fact, the cost per square metre was lower than the government were paying for the development of state schools at the time. Here in Canterbury, in such a medieval context, it is completely different.
Help her. This building is loved by its community. People come and visit it all the time. Parents can't believe that their children are being educated in this building.
On the banks of the Mersey, over on Cheshire side, lies Runcorn, that's best known to fame.
At the centre of the figure of 8 is Shopping City, which, like similar shopping complexes anywhere in Britain, is also something of a social centre.
I don't know whether any adults have actually found it to be utopia, though. I really don't.
I went to Runcorn because it has the unusual reputation of being a vandal-free town.
Right, Lee, we all need to find me another.
Neil England, ball for game.
Let's hear from Alice Duchava to tell us what got the judges to vote.
Hi, I'm Alice. I'm a director of Zucata Film Production. This year, Archiboo asked me to judge the category Best Use of Video. And I think what I've been looking for in a winner is originality and something quite different, because I think film has been used a lot in architecture practices now. So it had to be something that stands out a lot. The films I really liked was The Marmalade Lane by James Stevenson. It's really great story, but the cinematography was just absolutely beautiful. I also really liked Dennis Gilbert's film for Walter and Cohen. There was a very good sense of the photographer, filmmaker, knowing the spaces and knowing where to go and what to shoot, and the sound was really great for that film too. But the winner is Lionheart. It's unusual, it's beautiful, the lighting is spot on, all the shots inside the buildings are really gorgeously lit. It's a real visual treat, and the poetry and film mix is really original. So well done, Jim, congratulations, thank you very much.
Congratulations to Jim Stevenson, and also to Laura Mark and Ali Tolevi, who worked on the film.
And our final award for this evening is Best Overall, and is presented to one of the category winners or runners-up who is deemed particularly exemplary this year. The shortlist is ACT, Buckley Gray Yeoman, David Collins Studio, Foster and Partners, Soda Studio, Studio Eggerett West. One of the judges, Lanry Bolade, will tell us who's taken Best Overall this year.
Hi, I'm Lanry Bolade, client lead and architect, and I'm delighted to be on this year's Archiboo Awards judging panel for the Best Overall category. Congratulations to all the shortlisted practices, really high quality entrants, but obviously there can only be one winner. And for us, the winning practices website really exemplified all the qualities that we were looking for. It was really innovative, really engaging, really creative use of sound, video and still content, as well as a really interactive use of digital animations as well. So all of these qualities really came together to reflect the practice's work and its culture, which is very much rooted in sustainable communities. And for us, this meant that, we're really happy to award the Best Overall category to Studio Eggerett West. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Studio Eggerett West, their designer Rabbit Hole, and to all people who worked on their rebrand.
So much of what we've seen tonight has been truly inspiring. And while I hope we don't have to relive some of the challenges and hardships that have come to light because of COVID, I suppose if there's one thing that we've all learnt from this year is that business as usual is not really an option. Finally, I want to say a big thank you to our judges. We couldn't have done this without you, and also to Hayes Davidson, and of course congratulations to all our winners. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here this evening and to celebrate all this great work. It's been a pleasure to be your co-host, and I hope we will all meet in person next year.